Okay, Microsoft is gearing up for a showdown with EU regulators over Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision-Blizzard. The closed-door hearing will see Xbox chief Phil Spencer and other senior Microsoft executives argue the case for the $68.7 billion deal that seems like it just may never close. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley has the details for us. Dan, it hasn't looked good for quite some time. Has anything changed in that dynamic?
Yeah, big time. We've seen some major companies agree with Microsoft to deals to get the company to put Call of Duty on their platform. So they announced this $69 billion deal last year, January 2022. They haven't had much movement, as you said, Dave. We've seen, though, regulators with a lot of movement. The FTC sued Microsoft to block the deal. The UK's competition authority has put forward a draft of what it believes Microsoft should do to alleviate concerns that they have about antitrust problems, including divesting itself of Activision-Blizzard or Call of Duty, or just killing the deal entirely. And the EU is looking at this, and that's where we are looking today. Now, the movement that we saw today was that Activision-Blizzard, Microsoft, they entered into an agreement with Nintendo to provide Call of Duty on those platforms for 10 years. They also entered into agreement with NVIDIA to provide Call of Duty on NVIDIA's own platform for the coming years. NVIDIA has its own cloud platform. This whole argument is essentially about the cloud and Call of Duty. Microsoft has its own Game Pass service. They're doing well. They have the market share lead in terms of the cloud, but the cloud is still very nascent. We don't know how it's going to eventually shake out still, but they're crushing it. Sony, the biggest objector here, not doing nearly as well as Microsoft in terms of the cloud, and frankly, as far as offerings go. And so they don't want Microsoft to have Call of Duty to be able to kick Sony to the curb and say, look, if you want Call of Duty, you got to get it here. Why Call of Duty? Why is it so important? Because the last one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, sold $1 billion in sales in just 10 days on the market. If it can get it in the cloud, that's even better for Microsoft. So we have NVIDIA initially objecting to the deal, now saying that they agree to it because of that assurance from Microsoft. Whether Microsoft can enter into a deal with Sony remains to be seen. Don't forget, Sony is one of the top video game companies in the world by revenue. If Microsoft does get Activision Blizzard, it would be among the top three alongside Sony and Tencent.